Welcome to the GGB Supplier Showcase. Our guest today is John Olsen, the founder of Vaask, the company that is really taking advantage of the opportunity to bring clean to the casino industry. John, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
You know, we're really excited and honored that you've chosen us to help spread the word about your product because, it's such an important thing in the industry today. You know, when the pandemic started to wind down and the casinos started to reopen, they kept saying they were committed first to cleanliness and health and that kind of thing. And sometimes you can't see that, I mean, it's done, in the middle of the night or it's done, on the side. But your product really stands out front and center, and it really gives customers the idea that this casino is committed to keeping us clean and healthy.
This seems like a perfect application for our product.
Yeah, no question. So let's talk about how the company started and how you designed the product.
Yeah, at the beginning of the pandemic, I myself am a biological engineer with kind of a design eye, and I was walking around, going into nicer spaces, and noticing that no matter if it's a fast food restaurant or a five-star hotel, it's the same cheap plastic stuff, kind of warts on the wall of all of these spaces. Right. There's no opportunity for high-end products in the hand sanitizing space, even though hand sanitizer was a thing for many years before the pandemic ever started. So came up with the prototype that was initially a nice piece of furniture to showcase that there's a better way of doing this. This can actually look good. It doesn't have to look like this cheap piece of plastic. And over the past year and a half, iterated many times and came up with a iconic design, a beautiful product that can fit into any space.
Sure. Well, obviously, there's a lot of industries that could use this, but what particularly drew you to the gaming industry? Why do you think this is such an important product for them?
It's all about touch points and cleaning hands that have touched things that other hands have touched. And it seems, gaming seems like one of the best applications for this because it's such an integral part of the gaming industry. You can't really have games without touching things. And wherever these can be designed into the space, they can be built into columns, they can be built into kiosks, really fit in and look nice with the space as opposed to being an afterthought.
Yeah, sure. I mean, when you think about what you do when you're in the casino, it's very tactile. You touch the slot machine, touch the screens, you touch the cards, you touch the chips. Those people who are concerned about their health to that extent are going to want to be able to have access to some sort of a cleansing device. So where do you think these products should be located within the gaming facility? Obviously in the restrooms, but there should be other places as well, right?
Honestly, I think it should be outside the restrooms. I mean,
okay.
We put them inside of restrooms right now because they're ugly and dispensers and everything go inside the restroom. But truth is, many people might not wash their hands in the restrooms. But if they see a nice looking dispenser on the outside of a restroom as they're walking out, they're going to think twice and think, oh, I really should have cleaned my hands. And because this is nice, they're going to use it. And you really actually capture those people who didn't wash their hands.
Right.
But besides that, anywhere that there's kind of a congregation point of people in a high touch area. So countertops, like money exchange areas, kiosks, drink stations, waiting areas in restaurants. If there's a handrail that for walking upstairs, put it next to those because you can't not use a handrail and touch things.
Yeah, even by the front desk, I think that would be a great place for it. Yeah. So do these have to be put on a wall, or do you have stands that you can use as well?
These are designed to be built into the building, so recessed into the wall.
Okay.
They are AC powered, so you don't have to worry about batteries. They're built in, permanent part of the design. We are working on some accessories to make it so that you can mount it to the wall as a wall frame. But when you're talking about a permanent thing, you've got to think about things like ADA compliance and fire code and things like that. And oftentimes large dispensers that are hanging off the wall might not be ADA compliant.
Sure. So tell us how it works. Do you have to touch something or just put your hand underneath it and the stuff comes out?
Yeah. So we're actually using very high quality touchless sensors. So most sensors are, they're very crude and they just detect the brightness of a beam of light coming out of infrared light. Whereas ours, we're measuring thousands of times a second how close somebody's hand is, so we can really target in on their hand. And we have this Palm Pilot technology to narrow in on if they're moving their hand towards it or away, and to try to avoid mess wherever possible. But that's just part of the technology behind it. We've got a full color display on the front to really kind of draw people in and attract people from across the room to get people to use it. It's all about the psychology of getting people to clean their hands.
Right. Well, as you mentioned, I've seen a lot of these plastic versions, and half of them don't even work.
Oh yeah.
When you put your hands on it, how is your product different, and then how do you're going to guarantee that it's going to work 99% of the time?
Yeah. So yeah, actually telling the user what's actually happening is most of the problem, I think, with those. User being the janitorial staff or the actual person who's cleaning their hands. Most dispensers, they run out, you can't tell they're empty, and then they sit empty for days.
Right, yeah.
Whereas ours, we have a optical empty sensor inside of it that it detects if it's run out, and immediately that bar on the front turns to an empty bar, like if your battery's low on your phone, but you see that little red bar at the very bottom from 50 feet away, and instantly this thing needs to be filled, and if I put my hand under there, nothing's going to happen.
Yeah, okay, great. So you can make these customizable, correct? I mean, can you have the casino logo on the front, or how does that work?
We can do absolutely anything. We have a very high quality plating supplier where we can do any kind of metals. We can do full spread of custom colors. And we're also just now coming out with we're calling it like the full art front. So you can turn this into a work of art. You can copy a piece of art and put it on the front of it, or a full bleed logo across the front to really kind of stylize it and make it part of the brand. Because we own our own manufacturing and we've kept our suppliers close, we're very good at doing customization.
Okay. So how does the installation go? Do you have to drill a hole in the wall? How does it work?
Yeah, it's very much like if you were ever to put an electrical box in a wall or something like that. It's a retrofit. It's rough cut a hole with a roto zip or something like that. You run power from the nearest circuit. It doesn't have to be a power drop. It's just you can pigtail or daisy chain off of an outlet that's nearby, because less than an amp that's needed. And it includes all the flags and everything to attach to the drywall surface. So you don't have to have a stud nearby or something like that.
Sure.
So it's fairly quick install, 30 minutes with an electrician, and you're good to go.
Okay. So, before I got into my journalism career, I was a dealer in a casino, and, your hands get dirty as a dealer. So how would this help somebody in that, not just dealers, but all kinds of employees, back of the house employees? How would this help them out?
Yeah, it's interesting you say that. Many of the places that I have these in Austin, I check in on constantly to get feedback. And our biggest advocates are the front desk people, because in multifamily areas, they're helping people with people's dogs, and they're constantly cleaning their hands. They love these dispensers, and they're really helpful for them. But beyond the cleanliness that it offers the employees, the logistics are also very helpful. Most dispensers use single-use cartridges that are very expensive, and you can only get from one source. Where ours, you can use our sanitizer that's higher quality than anybody else's, but you can also use it's designed in a way that you can use any sanitizer, and it's really designed to work with the system as opposed to making you work for it.
So you can use any sanitizer, because I've noticed sometimes some of the sanitizers are thicker than others, and some are like water. I mean, you obviously can supply them with that, but do you have a recommended one you should use?
Yeah, we have our own, which fragrance is very important to us. We've seen a lot of bad hand sanitizer out there. We have very high-end fragranced sanitizer that every trade show we go to, people smell their hands and you can see them smile and they're like, oh, I like this.
Right.
But we've also designed the product with a dosing peristaltic pump inside of it, which means that no matter the viscosity, no matter the type of sanitizer, it has to be gel type, but no matter if it's thicker or thinner, you're going to get a consistent dose out of the dispenser.
Sure. Okay. Great. So tell us about the design process. I mean, it's very elegant looking, with the brushed chrome, the brushed metal on the front. And you said you had some background in design. Did you do this all yourself? Did you have some consultants come in and help you design it?
Yeah, the initial side of it was all me, the idea side.
Yeah.
But after that, you need experts. You need people who really iterate on design. So brought in a design firm that I'd worked with in the past. Okay. And went through probably 10 different versions, and every single time put it in front of customers in different sectors, architects, designers, got feedback on what they thought could be a problem or what they loved, and iterated over and over again. So prototyping as much as possible and talking to as many people as possible was our process.
So I know you've got it in some properties now. What kind of feedback have you gotten in when you finally install it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really closes the loop on controlling the design. So
right.
Architects and designers won't put hand sanitizer in their renderings because they're ugly, and
right.
then you have to have them, so they get stuck in the building and the building looks ugly.
Right.
It really puts back control in the hands of the designer to make a beautiful space and to keep it beautiful. And the designers love it. And because it's built to last, because it's a highly engineered product, it's built for logistics, the maintenance staff love it. And then the users just think it's really cool because the lighting and the experience and the look of it.
Sure. Well, you point out a very interesting thing here is that, we think the pandemic will be over and think we'll be back to normal, but it'll never will be, because you're always going to have these things that make people feel comfortable. Now that we're all aware, of the way we spread germs, people are very, very, insistent on having those kind of hand cleaners available. So you think this is going to be a permanent process, a permanent fixture in all casino hotels from now on?
Oh, yeah. I mean, hand sanitizer was a thing before that people expected on the entryways of buildings. Now it's just whenever you touch things, you think about the same thing. And that's not going to go away. There's been pandemics throughout history kind of changed the way we think about cleanliness. Everything from the Dixie cup being invented to how we build our bathrooms. It's all driven by pandemics, and those pandemics go away, but we learned something to prevent future pandemics.
Sure. So how can people learn more about Vaask?
Vaask.com, Vaask.com. Our phone number's up there. We're ready to talk to anyone. We've learned a lot through designing this product, and we're happy to be anybody's consultant to help figure out how to do this right in terms of hand cleaning. And we're putting out as many articles to tell people about what's going on as we can. So we're trying to get the word out.
Sure. Well, and I know you're going to be at trade shows. I know you'll be at G2E for sure later this year. Will you be at the Indian Gaming Show in a few weeks?
I believe so. Yes. Yeah.
Great. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you there. And again, we're very honored to be able to help you with this, get the word out about this, because it's an important product, and you've really taken it to the next level. So, let's stay in touch. Before G2E, we'll get together again and talk about, the reaction you've had to it and some of the successes you've had. And we're really interested to see where this is going to go.
Oh, yeah, that'd be fun. Let's do it.
Okay. Thank you for joining us for the GGB Gaming Supplier Showcase, our exclusive look at the best products and services produced by vendors for the gaming, iGaming, and sports betting industries. For more information about the GGB Supplier Showcase, contact Terry Brady at tbrady@ggbmagazine.com.